Semi-final of the Canadian Open from Toronto, Pete Sampras and Michael Chang. Now Sampras had to take a short break, as we told you before we went out. This is Steve Ulrich who is in the chair for today's match. Sampras will start the match. Best of 3 sets. The winner to play either Jay Berger or Jakob Classic in the final.
It's interesting in the first point you see a little bit of impatience on the part of Michael Chang, who's going to be the guy that keeps the ball in play most of this match.
That's wide. Of course, he had cramps in the 3rd set yesterday, Roscoe, as everyone knows by now. Wonder if that's going to affect him any today. That was a rhetorical question, because I don't think it is anything. Remember the French championships, he had those cramps against Lendl, and then he went on to win the thing. Of course, there was a day break between each match there because it was a Grand Slam. But
I think it can affect you when you get up to get out of bed the next morning. But once you're to the match, you've done all your warm-ups and stretching and all that sort of stuff, that you're okay.
Loosened up. 15-all. While you're looking for things that might affect the outcome of the match, Sampras's match with McEnroe, let's see, finished at probably 8 o'clock last night. So hasn't been that much of a rest period for him, but certainly enough. Players are often required to play into the night and then midday the next day.
Particularly if they're involved in the doubles event. His way into net there, but it's interesting in the warm-ups before, when they were on the practice courts, Michael Chang was out working with his brother and coach Carl, and he had Carl hitting him nothing but approach shots, just attacking him and standing well inside the line and serving at him. And so I think Chang is prepared for Peter Sampras to be coming into net quite a bit today. And so far in his first game, though, Sampras is spending all the time at the baseline.
30-all. That is long. Big approach shot from Sampras there. I mean, talked about his all-court game, Roscoe. He really does have one. I mean, what impresses me is when the other guys on the tour say about a player, this guy can really play, and he's only 18 years old. And they say that about the man you're looking at. They do. They've all said that his time is coming. It's just he's just developing. Kim Prince has enjoyed the weather, I hope. A little warm down there, I suppose, Kim, but similarly, a similar day, rather, today from the last couple, isn't it?
Actually, Cliff, maybe even a bit more breeze, and some of that breeze has worked its way down here. Nowhere near as hot as it was yesterday, especially in that 3rd set.
Deuce.
But then we've got some time for this sun to bake the hard court. It'll get hotter as the day wears on.
Chance to see a great match yesterday between Michael Chang and Andre Agassi. The one in the evening was equally dramatic as matches will be when they involve John McEnroe. But Pete Sampras won it in 3. And he has game point. And he used that big serve effectively against McEnroe last night too, and it helped him a great deal. The semi-final of the men's Canadian. We'll be back in a moment. Pete Sampras has won the first game of the semi-final of the Canadian Open. He beat John McEnroe last night. Do you feel sorry for John McEnroe? I wonder. What do you think, Kim?
Well, Cliff, I don't know about you, but last night when Pete won, I actually felt a little bit sorry for John. I almost felt sorry, but not quite, for a couple of reasons. The first is that if John wants to, he can still get back in the top 10. If he pays the price that Lendl has, he can move on up. The second is he still has those same old demons in his head. He threw a major league fit when a woman was fanning herself. And then number 3, well, natural selection at work. Pete Sampras, a young, strong player with a good racket, a new vibration-free racket, has made his mark. And that's another point. As we look at this match, bear in mind that McEnroe was great when he played with Wood, but going downhill since then. So there are other reasons, too. We'll touch on those as the afternoon runs on. Cliff?
Thank you very much, Kim. It is interesting to speculate about the future of John McEnroe, isn't it? Here may be the future of American tennis. So Sampras and Chang. Chang serving, trailing 1-0.
Get a little taste right there of all the different things that Pete Sampras can do. He's played the baseline, now he moves into the net, and watch the feel that he has at the net. See this ball? This is a very difficult shot, and he knows he's playing against one of the fastest guys in the game, and if he doesn't hit that perfect, Chang's going to be all over it.
There's a good example of another point I was making about McEnroe. That racket can do things that the old Wood racket couldn't do. And of course, with Pete Sampras and Michael Chang, 18 years old, the natural selection process is at work. They really train hard. They're strong, young athletes playing with good equipment.
Love 30.
And that good equipment has blunted some, I think, of McEnroe's artistry. And then finally, when you look at a couple of 18-year-olds, to the business about youthful irreverence. Well, John brought new meaning to that term when he came on the stage. And last night, Pete Sampras gave him some of his own. Did not cave in when it got tight in the third set.
15-30.
Sampras moves in a little bit. Think of Sampras as a serve and volley player, and then you see this, and he can do anything he wants. Watch him. He's moving Chang around the court, very similar to the way Agassi was moving him yesterday. This is a huge forehand down the line there. It's a very difficult shot. Now he gets back in the middle of the court, drills this ball. Michael Chang can only look at it.
Oh, yeah. 30-40. Still break point for Sampras.
That's almost the exact shot that he had his brother hitting to him, that Chang had his brother hitting to him before the match started out on a side court. So he's prepared for that. The approach shot's going to have to be better. It's going to have to be deeper.
Well, he's not so little, is he, in terms of tennis world. He's just has so much talent as you watch this replay. Now look at Sampras. He has to make a move to try to cover the down the line, and Chang just puts it right back to where he was. Deuce. And a little help from the net. For Chang, this is game point.
You can see Michael Chang moving around the court. He lifts himself all the way off the ground when he hits the ball, almost on every shot. There he's being a nice guy, saying, I'm sorry, but I'm sure that he wouldn't have it any other way. But always say sorry, but you love it.
But I'll take it.
That's right.
Advantage Chang. Deuce. Put this whole thing in perspective, if you exclude Brad Gilbert, who is older, in the top 10 of course, and Tim Mayotte, who's in a similar position. He's in the top 20 in the world, but you know, they're closing in on the 30s. And if you exclude Michael Chang and Andre Agassi, well, then Sampras is in the next field of players of the USA. That will be the future of the sport. In fact, Sampras is the best of that crop, in my opinion, along with Jim Courier. Then you have Jim Grab not far behind, David Wheaton, Richie Renenberg. All in the top 50. Game point Chang.
And Cliff, just to wrap a ribbon around that commentary on John McEnroe, I think as McEnroe would be the first to tell you, and albeit in a wry way after he lost to Sampras, what goes around comes around. And John's not feeling sorry for himself either, so there's no reason that we should. I think he's had a wonderful day in the sun, many, many days in the sun, and he's getting used to a bit of the shade now, like the rest of us.
The ribbon around that commentary. It's difficult to do so, though, having said all of those eloquent things that you said about McEnroe. Here's a man who is not at peace with himself yet, and I don't think we should leave our viewers with that feeling, because he still has those demons that you talk about that haunt him, and that just will not let die. Or at least go to rest.
Well, it's what made him so great. It's a rage for perfection, and that, you know, as a poet once said, you rage against the darkness. You know, you don't go quietly into the night if you're John McEnroe. And I don't think anybody expects him to, and part of the charm is that he's not going to. So I'm glad that Pete Sampras won. But McEnroe, he'll be hanging around for a while.
1 game all, 15 all.
Pete Sampras is beginning to get his first serve in a great deal more here, and that's what he's going to have to do, because he's really, his game, the way he can win is to get to the net. And he's got to get to net on shots that Michael Chang can't set up to hit. If he allows Michael Chang to set up for passing shots, then he's going to get past. So what he's going to do is be aggressive, get first serves in. Chang loves to have targets to pass.
You're exactly right, Roscoe. He's got to make that serve work for him, because if you get into a prolonged baseline rally with Chang, anything that requires a lot of mental effort and stamina, and you're in trouble, because there's nobody stronger in that department than the man looking at Chang.
I think also when he's playing at the baseline there, he did hit booming first serve in, but I think when he's playing at the baseline, he does get stuck back there. He doesn't want to let himself get pushed way behind the baseline, because then when Chang does hit the short ball that would give him the opportunity to come in net on a good approach shot, he'll be too far back to capitalize on it. So he's got to stay up closer to that baseline, and so far he's been content to be too deep.
Sampras holds on. He had a chance, a big chance to break Chang in the second game, but he didn't. So we're on serve. It's 2-1 in the first set. This is the Canadian Open from Toronto.
Seats, please. Thank you.
These guys could be a dynasty in the mechanical, chemical kind of business, couldn't they? Chemical engineer and research chemist there for the occupation. 18 years. There's so many similarities. Grand Slam title. Chang has got one of those. Current ranking 19 and 24. Highest ranking, though, Chang has been at number 5 after he won the French Championships. Their semi-final record, 2-2, 4-4. A lot of similarities, aren't there? This is Chang serving, game number 4. Trailing 2-1 on serve, first set, best of 3, semi-final of the Players Limited International. It's the Canadian Open title at stake here in Toronto.
That's all right. That's that error just then is the type of error that Pete Sampras is going to make, and that's okay because he's going for his shots. So he's taking a chance. He was playing inside the baseline, trying to capitalize on his opportunity, and that's the style he's got to use to win. He'll make some mistakes.
Oh!
15-all. Chang has been part of the USTA Junior Development Program, which I think has made a big difference to sport in the United States. I really do. He was the youngest player when he was just 15 years and 6 months to win a main draw match at the US Open back in '87. He beat Paul McNamee. He was given a wild card in the tournament.
Pete Sampras was a member of that team as well, but right now he has his own coach, Joe Brandy, who is here watching on. Brandy has been a coach at Bollettieri's camp for a long while. I'll touch on that as the telecast goes on. Some interesting sidelights here.
30-15. Chang has been a US Davis Cup player, of course. He played most of last year very successfully for the USA. Did not play against West Germany, to whom the US lost in 1989. The US, of course, still alive in this year's competition. Will play Austria in Vienna in September on ESPN. And by the way, talking about team competition, Federation Cup from Atlanta is going on, and after our tennis here from Toronto, we'll be going down there for more coverage.
Sampras won that point, but it's not really the style that's going to win him the match. He's got to move up just a little bit more so that he can take advantage. If he keeps just playing that style, eventually Michael Chang is going to say, all right, I'm not going to take any more chances. I'm not going to miss anymore, because he is so strong mentally. So Pete can win occasional points that way, but he needs to get inside that baseline a little bit more.
Great shot, wasn't it? Gives him break point.
You know, the way he came running across to hit that forehand, and you can see his preparation is really good. It reminds me a little bit of some of the passing shots that his idol Rod Laver used to hit, running across and hitting forehand down the line passing shots. Top spin that way.
Break point. But Chang holds on its deuce. Now, let's clarify. Rocket, he had a continental grip forehand, so mechanically there's a difference. I know what you mean in terms of result, but just for those who follow the technical aspects of the sport.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, but the way he ran across to hit it was very similar. He whipped it down the line, although Laver was left-handed also.
Deuce.
Should I say is left-handed?
Yes. Matter of fact, he's here. He's here. Doing what we call the corporate schmooze.
Oh, an opportunity there for Pete Sampras. He had guessed correctly as to where that ball was going.
Chang's had a lot more trouble on his serve, hasn't he, than Sampras so far, but Sampras has not yet broken him.
Here, Pete Sampras has nothing to do. He just has to guess. He faked like he was going to run the other way, and I think maybe Chang caught a little bit of that. I think even if he had gotten that ball back, though, Chang looked like he was ready for that one. Michael Chang is just so quick. Not only does he have speed, but he's also quickness.
Game point, Chang. That is why it's a Chang holds on. Spain over France yesterday in the Federation Cup, and then the Soviet Union 2-1 over the Netherlands. Soviet Union are looking good. Our continuing coverage of the Federation Cup from the Peachtree World of Tennis in Atlanta will continue this afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. And tomorrow here on ESPN again, the Players International Championships, the Canadian Open from Toronto at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, the men's singles final. The winner of the match that you are watching will, of course, be in the final. Take on either Jakob Plasek of Switzerland or Jay Berger of the USA. Roscoe, you're in the middle of a set like this, and you have, you've had all kinds of chances to break serve. Finally begins to. He had a lot of chances yesterday, by the way, in his match with McEnroe, and didn't take them.
He had 17 break points against McEnroe and only won 2 of them.
Same kind of thing has happened today. He's had his chances and hasn't broken yet.
He definitely, he's having chances, but I think he's going to continue to have chances because he's going to get those chances against Michael Chang. Michael doesn't have that big serve.
Love 15.
They're both getting a pretty low percentage for serve, and I think that will be a factor for Pete Sampras, because when he serves his second serve, he must stay at the baseline. He's going to have trouble getting into net. And but when he gets that first serve in, most of the time he wins the point almost on the serve by itself. So it's more important for Sampras to be getting a good first serve in.
He's in trouble in this game. Love 30.
Ooh, that serve was pretty close there. Incredible shot from Pete Sampras. Here he is. He's a serve and volley, a power sort of a player, but he has tremendous touch as well. Watch this shot. Ball comes, it's right at his feet. This is a half volley. It's a stop volley just over the net. Now, it's an unbelievable shot, but look, Michael Chang got it at the top of the bounce. Here he comes. Watch his concentration on the ball, and he never stops, keeps going. He was right there.
Big serve from Pete Sampras. I mentioned to you that Michael Chang was so young when he won that match against Paul McNamee. You may not remember him when he was an Australian guy who, as it happens, started out with a one-handed backhand that he didn't like, so he changed it to a two-handed backhand, as you see Sampras with 36 aces this week. But Sampras had a two-handed backhand, and he decided to change it to a one-handed backhand. That was back in 87.
I don't know what his two-handed backhand looked like, but his one-handed backhand's good. As you watch these matches, one of the things that you can really tell, particularly about both of these players, is when they're playing well, it's their preparation for each shot. They get the racket back so early. Even when they're on the dead run, the racket is in a position where once they get there, they can swing, as opposed to running all the way there and then starting their swing.
Game point, Sampras.
Very nice. This is an interesting tactic there. Get a short high ball and rush in.
But you can't surprise Chang. Apparently nothing bothers or surprises him. Watch.
I don't know if I wouldn't mind being surprised by that shot all the time.
Same age, these two, as we mentioned. When they were 15, they played in the boys' 18s in Kalamazoo in the final. And Chang won that one.
It's amazing to me at 15 that they're in the final of the 18 and under. Where are the guys that are 17 and 18?
On the Pro Tour, probably.
They probably are.
Game point. Just wide.
Wanted to put a little extra on that serve. Happens when you're feeling the pressure from what Michael Chang's been doing to the ball. You want to get a little more on it.
point for Sampras.
Yeah, I think Sampras is such a presence at net that Michael Chang, when he got over there, his original shot, it looked like he was planning to go down the line and changed his mind. That shows if you can get up there and you can bluff well enough at net, you can make the other guy rethink at all levels.
Well done by Pete Sampras on serve in the first set of the Canadian Championships. It's 3-2.
How can I help?
Sampras ahead 3-2 on serve first set. Best of 3 sets. The Players Limited International. Let's go down to Kim Prince, who's at courtside.
Thank you, Cliff. I have to laugh. Gene Scott, former U.S. Davis Cupper and tournament director for the Kremlin Cup, the first ATP stop in Russia, came by and he said, you know, it's a good thing I didn't see that Chang Agassi match yesterday because I saw the previous 4 and I'd have bet a bundle on Agassi. So more than a few people in the know really were surprised by Chang's win yesterday. Perhaps we can get a word with Gene Scott a little bit later on about what it's like to do business with the Russians, Glasnost, in tennis, no less.
Would be interesting. And yeah, by the way, that's no surprise. I thought Chang was going to go down to Agassi again yesterday. He nearly did. But what a comeback. What a comeback from Chang. Now he's in the semifinals, trailing 2-3 first set.
It's interesting too because he's playing such a totally different player than he played yesterday in terms of style, and I wonder how difficult for him it is to reorient his thinking, because I'm sure he was so tuned into yesterday's match.
I think that's a really good point. Chang's not happy with that call, by the way. He whistles from the crowd who apparently agree with Chang, but I agree with you. You've got guys here, 2 of them in real interesting situations, as you see Steve Ulrich in the chair, because Chang had never beaten Agassi before, and on the other hand, Sampras is playing against McEnroe, and that's always tough.
Yeah. So both of them had huge emotional type matches yesterday, and to try to pick themselves back up.
I think this man is as equipped as anybody in the world to do that. 15-30. Difficult to imagine him playing with 2 hands of that side, isn't it? Because it seems so natural. He's got such a fluid swing on the backhand side.
And it does give him a tremendous amount more reach also on that side by being one-handed.
Sampras.
Sampras is capitalizing on the fact that Chang is going for a bit more on his first serve. Here you can see he's attacking. Makes a volley. Didn't get quite as much on it as he wanted and gave Chang a chance to hit a lob, but the ball got caught in the wind, stopped, drilled it. But you could see the preparation too. He kept his eye on the ball the whole way. Back early. But Pete Sampras is capitalizing quite a bit on the opportunities that he gets. When Michael Chang is going for a bit more on his first serve than he has in the past and wants to get a little bit more out of it. And if his second serve falls short, Pete steps around and drills forehands.
Another break point.
Chang seems it's like he's trying to decide what to hit with the shot here. He's not quite as crisp or sharp as he was yesterday, and I wonder if he is just he's going to have some sagging periods in this match, some ups and some downs, which yesterday he didn't. He was solid the whole way through, but today he seems to be making a few errors that he doesn't ordinarily make, and it's probably emotional concentration. Big chance for Pete Sampras. He's way inside the baseline.
He'd sure like to have that one again, that volley from Chang. And the break is served. Sampras 4-2.
I think Chang was surprised that he was there so easily. He had the racket out in front. He was ready for that one easily, but I think he was looking a little bit more down the line, and it surprised him that it was cross court.
Seemed like it got just a little too far behind him, didn't it? When you saw it live, it looked like he should have made it easily, but it might have been a little more difficult than it looked.
Ball had a pretty good amount of topspin on it too. I think it may have dipped a little bit for him.
4-2 first set. Love 30. Excuse me, love 15. $155,000 to the winner of the tournament. The winner of this match will take home $81,620 US. Canadian dollar is worth about 15% less. 12 to 15.
Almost knocked Michael Chang down. It really got into his body, and that shows the effectiveness of that type of serve. It's not just to the corners. Here you see this is the result. It ends up with that short shot. It takes a lot of strength to hit a backhand volley and make it bounce high enough to go out of the court. Pete's using his serve well. He's mixing it up, some into the body, some out wide. The point before was into the body.
Yeah, doesn't he always, though? I mean, with a serve like that, he kind of just ambles into the ball and has a smooth swing. But boy, he hits it so hard, and he gave Mackin so much trouble yesterday.
And he can hit it to all the corners.
Yeah,
and then he uses it.
Good variety. Different when Agassi got up to serve for the match yesterday against Chang, which he did in the second set. Kim Prince at that time pointed out that, well, it was a kind of a tough situation for him and what would happen, but you had the feeling when Sampras got up to serve against McEnroe, it was over, and it was. And the game is over. Sampras has a 5-2 lead against Chang. First set of this best-of-3 set semifinal from Toronto. 5-2 for Sampras in the first set against Chang. Let's go down to courtside where our man Kim Prince is with Gene Scott.
Thank you, Cliff. With Gene Scott, former U.S. Davis Cupper and now the tournament director for the Kremlin Cup. Gene, what's it like doing business with the Russians?
Well, you know, one thing, Kim, we don't have a lot of competition at nighttime for their attention. It's either the Bolshoi Ballet and the Moscow Circus, and I don't think there's much competition there.
When's the tournament going to be?
November 5th to the 11th. First one ever.
First one ever in Russia. Congratulations. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Kim.
So for any of you that are over there in November, put that down in your calendar. Go down and watch the Kremlin Cup.
Watch out, Cliff. They may send us. And frankly, I'm grateful I'm such a great friend of Gene Scott's now. If we go, he's going to take care of us, Cliff. I'll send him your best.
Thank you. There has been a women's professional tournament over there last year.
Here's Peter Sampras' forehand. You can see he takes it back a little bit like he's taking it out of the show, but he gets it back early enough that that doesn't hurt him. Quite often when you pull it like you're pulling a sword out of a sheath like that, you can get caught late, but he gets it back early enough.
Chang in all sorts of trouble, potentially 2 points from the first set. For Sampras, it's 15-30, 2-5. And now 2 set points.
Here you can see the power with which he hits this approach shot and gets himself in, but then he gets up and he just has that deft touch at the net just to drop the ball over. And you've got to keep in mind how fast Michael Chang is, and he's not even able to make a move for those, so that's how good a shot that is.
Agassi is an aggressive player, but in a different kind of way to beat Sampras, who's more a serve and volley player. I wonder who hits the ball harder. I don't think there's any question that Agassi hits it harder off the baseline. But you feel a different kind of pressure with Sampras, I think. Still set point.
Well, I think with Sampras, when he hits it, you have the pressure that he might be coming in the net behind it and put away the volley, whereas Agassi is just waiting at the baseline to drill another ball.
Michael Chang is, in my book, probably the most intelligent player in tennis today. He knows exactly what he can do, and he plays within those confines wonderfully well. Nothing phases him either. Feeling that he doesn't fear losing. Game point.
Yeah, he has the game in the proper perspective. It's still a game. Makes a lot of money at it, but it's still a game.
So he was down 2 set points. But he held on, and now Sampras will have to serve for the first set at 5-3.
Here's a Michael Chang service point. You can see he doesn't get his weight forward very much into the ball, but he doesn't intend to go to net anyway. But now he's getting the racket back very early, loops it back. He doesn't really get his weight into the ball, but he gets racket head speed through it. Quick hands. An excellent return. When he was practicing for this match, he had his brother, Carl, stand in almost on the service line and serve balls at him very, very hard to try to quicken him up. And they were standing just on the baseline or inside, just like he is now. So he's been prepared for just this moment.
Yeah.
Knocked that serve, though.
He's been going for that from and hit a few of them just wide, but boy, that was right on the money. 15 all.
But Michael Chang has such quick hands that when the ball's in close to his body on either side, he returns it very, very quickly, and that's how he can stand in like that on a big serve like this.
Helps that he has quick feet too, so he can get out of the way of those that are into the body.
That's true. That's true. Instead of taking a hit.
Oh, what a shot. Unbelievable. Makes it look easy, and that was not easy to do.
Oh, that ball was down around his shoe tops. And he hit a great approach shot here. Sliding it down the line, really goes through it, and he goes right into the net. But look how low this ball is down. He gets down, watches the ball all the way into his racket. Keeps his eye on the ball. That helps. And we see it again. This is difficult. You know, it's the interesting thing is though he does not meet the ball that far in front of him. It's really to the side, which makes that shot tougher.
Excellent camera work, by the way, on that low forehand volley of Pete Sampras's. He has 2 set points on his serve.
You can see the difference when he misses his first serve. He ends up, he can't stop until he's at the service line. When Chang misses his first serve, he's right at the baseline.
Pete Sampras has won the first set. 6-3 over Michael Chang, the number 7 seed in this tournament, and the man who knocked out the number 1 seed, Andre Agassi, yesterday.
Seats, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Quiet, please. Thank you. Seats, please.
This is the Canadian Open Tennis Championships from York University, the National Tennis Centre of Canada. 14 tennis courts comprise this facility, and the stadium court, which is jammed, can take 8,700 people.
There's a look at Joe Brandy, who is Pete Sampras's coach, is contracted to be with him actually for the next 27 weeks. Started with him in December of '89. kind of an interesting scenario. He's been moving around as the match goes on, likes to keep in Pete's line of view. Very standard tactic for a lot of the players when they need reassurance, look to their coach, not specifically for coaching necessarily.
Yeah, well done by Chang. 30-15 first game, second set. Better not be for coaching because, of course, it is illegal to be coached by anybody during a match.
You can see Michael Chang moving into net. Barely gets that ball, but he uses his quick foot speed, gets the racket out in the ready position, and moves across for the ball. Here he comes. See, the racket is ready now. Before he turns, and immediately the racket is ready.
Kind of an interesting story that goes along with Joe Brandy. He was recommended to Pete Sampras by Sampras's double partner, Jimmy Courier, who is a Bollettieri protege, and Joe Brandy is a coach at Bollettieri's camp.
So Michael Chang holds on. First game of the second set, but he lost the first 6 games to 3. We'll be back with more from Toronto in a moment. This is the Canadian Open Tennis Championships from Toronto. Sampras won the first set 6 games to 3. It's 1 game to love. Chang on serve, second set. Hats are the order of the day here, trying to protect themselves from this harsh Canadian summer sun.
Now the match is definitely playing into Peter Sampras's hands, and even though Chang won that last game, the points are tending to be shorter. That's what Sampras wants, and that's as short as it gets. 2 aces to open up the game.
He likes up and down the middle, doesn't he, when he's serving to the ad court. It's a very difficult shot to cover for that.
It's interesting because most right-handers don't make use of the slice serve that much.
No.
Lefties usually do, but not right-handers. So one player that used to make use of that quite a bit was Marty Reesen.
And then well, there are some. I mean, Yannick Noah, for example, his best serve by long ways into the forehand side. But in general, the right-handers are so used to attacking the backhand side that you're right. They get used to.
Yeah.
They get used to swinging into the backhand. More like that one.
Yes.
Game point for Sampras.
And Cliff, that backhand is the shot that he has been working on with his coach, Joe Brandy. Been trying to get more slice on it, a little more penetration and depth so he can get to net, get that volley away. The feeling has been that his topspin backhand is fine, but he needs a little more penetration with that slice backhand.
thing that Pete Sampras is going to have to be very concerned about is to make sure he keeps his concentration as he's when you're winning games early or easily and are a big server. You really need to keep your concentration, otherwise you can get a break.
Cardinals and the Mets tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, live here on ESPN. Sunday Night Baseball. Oh, that is just right. And remember, at 3 o'clock this afternoon here on ESPN, continuing coverage of the Federation Cup from Atlanta. Norcross, Georgia, actually. It's kind of a suburb of Atlanta. But it's a nice spot down there anyway, with tall, beautiful trees. Chattahoochee River nearby.
Cliff, I'm noticing something down here, at least. Maybe you are. Just the level of emotional intensity isn't the same today for either one of these guys as it was yesterday and yesterday evening. I think that's to be expected under the circumstances. Both of them had tremendous wins. Some might say the biggest wins of their career yesterday. There's going to be an obvious letdown. And I think the somewhat up and down play is showing indications of just that.
30-15. Kim, you had an excellent sense of the match yesterday. Even when Agassi was serving for the match, you felt that he might be in some trouble. Do you have any significant thoughts on this match at this point down there?
Well, Cliff, thanks. I mean, I think the big thing right now is, can Michael Chang, I think it's in Michael's hands. I think if Michael can bring the same resilience to this match that he did yesterday, he will win. But I'm not sure that he can, quite frankly. I'm just not sure that he can today. And so saying,
he serves a big ace and puts himself in front of the second set. 2-1 Chang on serve. He lost the first set to Sampras 6-3. We'll be back.
I think that point's, Cliff, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think that point is worth picking up on a little bit. Just about, after tough matches yesterday, what can you expect guys to do? And I'd like to hear what you and Roscoe think about that, because I think the level of play here hasn't been a very good match.
I think it's because of a little bit of the style of play, though.
You do?
I think if you watch Sampras last night, I don't think he's playing any worse than he did last night. I think he had what is it, 17 break points last night and only won 2 of them. He made a lot of errors. So
I'm afraid to disagree with you after yesterday, to tell you the truth. Kim, you're like the sage of this tournament to me. But I don't agree with what you said, for example. I think that I don't think it's in Michael Chang's hands at all. I think it's in Sampras's. This is the Canadian Open Tennis Championships from Toronto. York University, the National Tennis Center. Pete Sampras on serve, second set, serving 1-2. He's down. He won the first set 6-3.
He must be careful right here. He's held serve very easily the last 2 or 3 times. And all of a sudden he can be in for a fight.
It is so tough to call. Kim Prince, I thought, made... Kim, I thought you made... It's an excellent point you made about these boys both having played those extraordinarily tough matches yesterday for different reasons. It's going to be tough any time you play against McEnroe and Chang beating Agassi for the first time in 4 tries. So the mental tension was there yesterday. May not be here today, as you suggested. But to me, the match really is in Pete Sampras' hands, because he's the guy that makes things happen. He's the one with the big serve. If it works, then he's going to win.
Well, I think from a tactical standpoint, not to really disagree with Cliff, I agree with the basic concept, but I think Michael Chang, I think, is, as you watch this replay, is the gutsier of the players. And I think he's got more arrows in his quiver. And I think that counts on a hot day, especially if it goes 3 sets. So if it goes 3 sets, I'd pick Chang. I think the key, though, is right now, can Sampras hold his serve?
15 all. And 30-15.
I tend to feel like as long as Pete Sampras is serving like that and maintaining his concentration on every game that he's serving, then he's going to hold serve, and I think he's in control.
He impresses me, Sampras, the way that he's played. Of course, we covered him when he won the tournament in Philadelphia over Andres Gomez, who went on to win the French, and he was terrific then.
But one of the tendencies Pete Sampras has had over his career is when he gets in the lead, as he is now. He's not leading this set, but he's up a set. And sometimes he'll get a bit lackadaisical on his serve, and then things can happen.
Well, as one of those famous politicians said, let me say this about that. if he doesn't keep his concentration on his serve, he's in all kinds of trouble, because Chang will jump all over you. 2 games all in the second set. 6-3 for Sampras in the first. Semi-final of the Players Limited, which is the Canadian National Championship.
Perhaps his biggest win was against McEnroe last night. Well, Sampras did beat Mats Wilander at the U.S. Open last year in 5 sets. But Wilander, he was not at his peak form. Well, neither is McEnroe. You pick it. Still 2 great wins for him.
To beat the defending champion of any tournament, especially the U.S. Open, is a major accomplishment, no doubt. 6 for Sampras and 3 for Chang.
You know, the interesting about that is surprising that Chang has 3.
Yeah. Of course, Kim, you can also write down Andre Agassi as a victim of Sampras's this year, although Agassi that day had to retire. He won the first set, then lost the second, then pulled out because he had food poisoning. That was in Philadelphia, and Sampras went on to win it. So Chang gets another one. 3 games to 2. Chang leads in the second set.
Oh, is it?
This is Pete Sampras serving to Michael Chang, trailing 2-3, second set. He won the first. He's the number 5 seed here. You know, he changes things up so well, Michael Chang. He does something like that. You just saw attack the second serve and come in. Very surprising. And of course, Sampras won the point. But things like that will unnerve you.
It'll leave an imprint for the next point. Next time he hits a second serve, he's going to be thinking about that.
No second serve needed on that.
And those types of serves leave an imprint as well.
Dirty love.
It's interesting, though. Chang has not made the adjustment to move over towards that shot at all. He's not looking to cover that ball. It's like if you hit that, you got it. Sampras made a tremendous first volley there because he did a good approach shot, but Chang got the ball back low, and most of the time Sampras has been drop shotting that, or drop volleying that shot, and this time he punched it deep. It shows that he can do either one with his volley. He has very good feel in his hands. There's Chang standing inside the baseline for that first serve.
You might as well.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt you much because if he gets that first serve in, you're looking at coming second in a field of 2 anyway. Game point.
Yeah, but at least if you stand way back and it hits you, it won't hurt so bad.
Sampras has been broken in this tournament only 4 times. And he has served 35 aces going into this match. Yep.
No way.
Second serve. Michael Chang says no way. That was long, but he's not going to get any help from Steve Ulrich in the chair. And it is game to Pete Sampras. Ace on the second serve. 3 games all, second set.
Cliff, I have a question for you. I know you have had a great big wide open serve, free swinging, and so does Pete Sampras. He's loose as ashes out there. How do you assess Sampras' serve compared to other big ones?
Repeat the end of that question again to me. In terms of what, Kim?
Well, I get to the question after the point.
That is wrong. Specifically in terms of what, Kim?
The query was, how do you assess Sampras' serve compared to other big serves, Becker and Lendl, for instance?
After this point, I will respond to that one. 15 love, Chang. 3 games all, second set.
And I pose the same question to Roscoe, who had a very economical serve.
That is good, 30 love. In very general terms, I would put Pete Sampras' serve right up there along the top 3, really, because you've got to include Edberg in that. You've got Becker, Lendl, and Edberg, all of whom are very, very successful servers as you watch this replay.
Ball ends up being just barely on the line.
Another great shot from Chang, and he has game point. How about a quick answer on the serve comparison?
Well, and here we have a replay of great down-the-line backhand from Sampras, but it just shows the speed of Michael Chang was able to track that one down and put it back.
We'll get back to question on the serves when we come back. On serve, second set, first set to Pete Sampras of California. 6-3. First set to Sampras, 4-3 to Chang in this set on serve. Roscoe, how about the serve compared to the biggest in the business?
Well, I think it's not so much the motion that counts, it's the results in how they use it. And I feel that Pete Sampras is extremely effective at moving the serve around. It's very difficult. Michael Chang doesn't know which way to look. I mean, if he's been ace several times out wide, so he starts to cover out wide. Look at that ball. It's a rocket down the center. That's what gets ace. It's like a pitcher in baseball. Move it around. If Chang's looking for it, he's going to get it back. If he can figure it out, figure out the pattern.
Look at where Chang is, by the way. I mean, he is, what, 10 to 12 feet behind the baseline.
New tactic.
Good play.
And what Michael Chang is saying is, I've got to get the ball back somehow. And I tried standing in, and now I'm going to try standing way back. See how far back he is back there? But it gives him a little more time. Gives him more time to track this ball down, and this is what he was working on in practice, and it's one of the first times he's gotten to use it. Now look at him get the racket back early. If the racket's back, now he's ready to hit. Preparation again. That's what does it.
Keep your eye on Chang if you can. Well, he's moved in a little bit now. This is the second serve, remember. On the line. Oh, what a shot. What a
Remember
crisp
also,
point
this is the
from
first
Chang.
game that Peter Sampras has had a tough game on his serve. And here comes his two-handed back in. You see him get the racket back early. Now he gets very much sideways. Two-handers make themselves get sideways better. Great shots. Pete Sampras is behind for the first time on his serve in many, many games. He's been winning them easily. Let's see how he serves when he's tight.
15-30. This may be the most important point from Michael Chang's vantage point of the match. Oh, look at that. Reminiscent of what Chang did to Pete Sampras in the last game. An outstanding passing shot from Sampras, just showing that Roscoe does have all the shots.
He certainly does. He's well deep into the court. That wasn't a bad shot from Michael Chang, but it left too much of the court open for him to cover. Here you can see he's well back into the court. Got the racket back early. It's interesting. Almost all the players now leap into the air as they hit ground strokes.
30-all.
Bill Norris, the ATP trainer, has dropped by our commentary spot down here at courtside. Might have a chance to get a word with him on the cramping that Michael had yesterday and some problems that Pete Sampras has had in the past with his hip flexor. We'll get a moment to try to talk to Bill.
All in the second set.
Okay, we've got Bill Norris here now. Bill, Michael Chang cramped badly in that match. What was his problem? How's he doing today, do you think?
I think he just suffered a loss of fluids and electrolytes there, but he recovered pretty quickly after the match, so he didn't have any problems this morning. And when I checked him, and he seems to be moving pretty good now.
How about Pete Sampras? He had some troubles earlier this year, I know.
Yeah, Pete had some problems with some hip flexor, muscular problems, but right now he's okay. Last night he had a little problem with his Achilles tendon, but today it's normal.
Okay, thanks very much, Bill. Behind the dark glasses, a John Denver lookalike. Bill Norris, one of the most well-liked trainers in all of sports. A wonderful fellow. Thanks for Bill for coming by.
Chang serving 15 love at 4 games all. Second set he lost the first.
Sampras really has dictated the play so far in this match. At different times he'll slow it up and just be content to rally, and other times he's not. And so Michael Chang, as he begins each point, really isn't quite sure what to expect.
Chang isn't going to like that too much, but he's going to have to live with it, I think. No overrule. 30-15 in this game at 4 games all. Sampras, as you said, Kim was injured early in the year after this. Sure can't call it from that one. It was very close either way. Played against Ivan Lendl in the semi-final of Milan and injured himself. So in Toronto, tried to play but had to pull out against Kelly Everenden in the first round. But it was the very next week in Philadelphia that a recovered Sampras won the tournament. Beat Gomez in the final and Tim Mayotte on the way. In fact, he's beaten Tim Mayotte 3 times this year. Swing by Michael Chang, and he has game point in game 9. As you see, our ESPN commentary position way above this stadium that seats about 8,700 people. Pictures courtesy of our friends at CTV, at least some of them today. They have taken over from TSN on the weekend. Almost exact same spot as that swing of his a couple of points ago. So game point.
You see Pete Sampras, as the ball comes now, he immediately turns sideways, gets the racket back early, but his weight really doesn't get going forward, but he gets sideways and spins into the shot. He does get the racket back early enough so he doesn't get caught late. Chang is indicating to himself, and he's kind of a little bit frustrated with himself. That's an error that he should never make. He is pressing for a little bit more out of his shots than he has in the past. So he's going to have a few more errors.
Crucial stage of the match, deuce at 4 games all, second set with Sampras up 1-0.
And Sampras is a dangerous player to let him back into this game like this, because 2 swings of the racket, and Sampras could be serving for match.
Sampras spent some time in last year with Ivan Lendl, practicing with him at his home, and then some in Australia before the Australian Open. That one too, but not quite. Back to deuce.
You can see the footwork and the foot speed of Chang moving himself around the court. He's quick, getting ready for that ball, moving side to side. It's incredible. He very nearly got to that ball. Most players wouldn't have even made an attempt.
7 in break point to serve for the match. Watch.
Here comes, he has the whole court. It's a very, very difficult shot, though, at that high back end, and all of a sudden you know that you can't really generate enough power on that so that Michael Chang cannot get to the ball.
Kind of a Michael Jordan move, that, wasn't it? I mean, he was 3 or 4 feet in the air when he made contact with that, maybe more. Game point.
Scary to come down from there.
Some trouble for Michael Chang. He holds on. 5-4 for Chang. When we come back, Sampras will serve in the second set. Chang wins this thing here this week. Well, he'll be the youngest champion. Boris Becker at the moment is the youngest champion, 18 years and 9 months. Now, as a matter of interest, if Sampras wins it, although he is just 18 years old, he's going to be just 18 years and more than 9 months, so he won't be the youngest champion ever. The oldest, Ivan Lendl, 29 years and 5 months. And 2 players have won this thing the first time that they entered. Boris Becker in '86 and Bjorn Borg back in 1979. Now, either one of these 2 players, if they win the tournament, will join that list.
And one other fact to add to that, for those of you who keep track of such things, Ivan Lendl played in this tournament 11 times and has won it 6 times, been in the finals 8 times. McEnroe also has been in this tournament 11 times, has only won it twice, 84 and 85.
As crucial as the last game was for Michael Chang, now it's crucial for Sampras.
Just a little bit too much of the court left open here, and Michael Chang jumped right on it. See Chang getting over to this ball now. He moves forward, so he really gets his weight into it. Boom.
Ooh. Hold long, and Sampras doesn't like that call.
It's a huge point, too. He's down low 15.
Sure looked pretty good from here.
Yeah.
Very long way away, so. He just is so together as well, Sampras, isn't he? I mean, Chang is. I don't think there's any more together playing the business, but, you know, Sampras, look at him. He's not intimidated by anything.
Watch this. Love 15 down, and here he hangs right in there. Michael Chang doesn't spend a lot of time at the net, but he certainly moves well when he's up there.
all. So much easier to play the great sport of tennis if you serve well, because it means you get so many free points. What a point. Beautiful serve. Great return of serve. And then a crisp volley deep from Sampras. Watch this.
That serve and volley just reminded me somewhat of Stefan Edberg at Wimbledon. The way he came in, he had a huge serve, had a big return, but he was still hung in there and punched the volley. That volley had a lot of pace on it, and it was a difficult volley.
How does he hit the ball? There was no way that he could get inside the serve line. You saw when you made contact with it, he was about a foot behind the serve line, and he still made it look like it was really easy. Game point. I don't know. I've seen too many of those from Chang. I'm not sure if I was playing against him, I'd give him that opportunity. He just doesn't miss those.
Well, I think he loves that shot. He seems to hit it every time. I don't think I've seen him miss it. He gets over there and really stays down on the ball.
Sampras, and we are now at that stage of the match where both players, I think, realize the importance of this particular segment of this match, because if Michael Chang, of course, loses his serve, Sampras will serve for the whole thing. On the other hand, Chang has got to hold on here for a chance to get into the tiebreaker or indeed break Sampras for the set. Crucial stages for both players.
Cliff, in the last half hour or so, the temperature probably has gone up another 10 degrees down here on the court. Just a hint of a breeze up top, none down here. It's hot.
15 love.
First serve.
All, just like Andre Agassi had never lost to Michael Chang. As you watch this replay, I'll tell you that Sampras has never beaten Michael Chang. They played 3 times last year, including the French Open on clay, but then twice on hard courts at Stratton Mountain and Los Angeles. All of them won by Chang. 15 all. And all of them in straight sets. Just one. So another chance for Sampras on Chang's serve. He has just, I kind of talked about it in the first set, Roscoe. It's difficult when you play against a guy who serves that well. When you're in Chang's position, he has been on his own serve struggling, and yet Sampras, it's just had it so easy for this entire match.
And the thing that can happen is that all of a sudden that can turn around in one game. Chang is working and working and working for every game he gets on his serve, and Sampras seems to be holding serve pretty easy, but there's been some big points on Sampras' serve. Here's the replay of this last point.
30 all.
You can see the upward momentum of Chang's racket coming through the ball in his efforts to get topspin. Chang has certainly a lot of aces in this match for him normally. He's beginning to push to get more out of his first serve. I think he one of the things that in Bjorn Borg's career that changed him from being a true baseliner to being able to win on grass and some other surfaces was he got a better serve. Chang is working on it.
That is right. So Michael Chang has held on again. Not without some difficulty, though. When we come back, Sampras will serve. He wants to try to get himself into a tiebreaker, and Chang would like to close out the set. Just as soon as we are through with this men's singles semi-final here in Toronto, up next on ESPN, the Federation Cup from the Peachtree World of Tennis in Atlanta. We've been covering that since Thursday of this week, and our coverage will continue next on ESPN. On that flag that wasn't blowing the right way for us, it says Toronto 96. There it is, Toronto 96. They're going for the Olympic Games in 96. One of a few other countries cities, of course. 30 love, including, let's see, Athens. I think Melbourne is going for it. Atlanta.
I think Atlanta is making a big move for it.
And Athens, as we mentioned. Love.
Well, Chang for the first time made a move to cover that ball down the middle. It's a good thing that was a let, because he wasn't more than 10 miles of that serve going out wide. One of the things when a player's serving this well, you have to guess a little bit. He's trying to move inside the baseline again.
That didn't work, did it? I mean, there are not too many players who are going to be able to move in on Sampras' serve. Watch this, the power of it all.
It's amazing, and he does it so
effortlessly.
Yeah.
There's another one, and Sampras has held on. So we're in a tiebreaker here.
You know, and the thing that's so amazing is Chang is quick. I mean,
there's nobody quicker.
But being in the tiebreaker, looking at the records of the two players, in 1990 in the tiebreaker, Chang is 3-4, 3 wins, 4 losses in tiebreakers, and Sampras has won 13 and lost 7. So it certainly appears that the advantage swings to Sampras. But
no, I don't understand that. Of course, it hasn't been a good year for Michael Chang, but here's a guy who is as tough in the crunch as anybody in the business. I'm surprised. First point. Means the match, of course, for Sampras and the set for Chang. Sampras won the first set 6-3. Chang is there, 1-0.
Boy, does this point change around quickly. It looks like Sampras has everything going his way. Chang makes a pretty good shot. Sampras just gets to it. Chang is so quick, all of a sudden he makes it look very easy to cover that ball.
Seems like Sampras played it just a little safe. You know, he was so close to the net that he thought almost any shot would win it, but that doesn't always hold true against Chang. He was all over that second passing shot. 1-0 in the tiebreaker.
Well, one thing, as many swings as Chang is getting at those serves, he can become a linesman too. There's nothing else to do except look at the mark.
1 point all. The sun is behind Sampras now, and of course it'll stay that way for the first 6 points of the tiebreaker. Then they'll change sides.
Absolutely incredible. How does he even see this ball, much less get his racket on it? What do you mean, no emotion? Watch him after this shot. Gets that back. Most people don't charge overheads, but watch him after this.
Well, that's the shot of the tournament as far as I'm concerned. I've never seen anything like that. He hit that ball about as hard as he could, Sampras, and Chang got it back. 2-1, Chang. Then he break. That might be the shot of the year. That's the toughest shot I've seen in 1990.
I don't know how he ever even saw the ball, much less have his racket on it.
Anyway, then he made an unforced error, and we are back even in the tiebreaker, 2 points all.
Just too short there, and it gave Michael Chang actually a very easy, clean crack at a passing shot, and you give him that, you're going to be fried. So you can see here, he's ready for it. This is for the overhead again. Yeah. He didn't mind that shot at all, did he?
On serve in the tiebreaker second set, 3-2 for Michael Chang. Another big serve in the myriad of big serves that Pete Sampras has had this afternoon.
Oh, Michael Chang is doing everything he can on the return to serve. He's standing in, he's standing back, he's standing to the left, standing to the right. He's presenting as many different pictures as he can, because oftentimes it's not that you think your return might be better, but it's a different picture for the guy serving to look at. Maybe he'll miss that serve and you get a shot at a second serve.
He has stood in a multiplicity of places to receive, hasn't he?
That's a great word.
Thank you. There's a replay again. Sampras holds on. It's 3 points all. And now 4-3 for Sampras.
Well, I'll tell you, Cliff, I've just been watching Sampras very closely. He was serving down here at my end a moment ago. He is cooked. He's had enough of this heat. He's got to win on this serve. If this goes 3 sets, if Chang gets back in and wins his tiebreaker, I think Sampras will go down easy in the third. Well, this tiebreaker is the whole match for Pete, I think, right here.
3-4. That is long. Chang on the left watching his brother. He's Michael's coach as well now. There's Bill Norris, the ATP trainer, sitting alongside him there. This is 4 points all. Sun behind Michael Chang. In Sampras' face.
This is it right here. If Sampras can win this point, he can actually hold the edge, because if he wins both his service points, he wins.
Miss hit on the return of serve, though. He tried to guide that, and now it is crunch time for Sampras.
Sampras got himself ready for this ball, and then looked like he just didn't move his feet. He could be a little bit tired. He didn't move his feet quite right, and also he guided the ball a little bit. The other ones he's been hitting them. Maybe he's sensing that he's on the edge of victory.
More than tired, I think he's tight.
Yeah, because nervousness can make you start standing still.
Exactly.
through.
Right through. Pete Sampras and Michael Chang has 2 set points.
You can see the ball gets right through him. He almost got his racket on that, and if he had a winner. But you can see, look at the tenacity of the movement from Michael Chang. Everywhere. Those legs are like pistons driving him everywhere he goes.
Set point. And now with the sun behind Michael Chang, and with his serve at 6 points to 5 in the tiebreaker, he has another set point.
See whether Pete Sampras is the attacking Pete Sampras or the one that's content to rally from the baseline.
Chang has won the second set. Pete Sampras wondering what was the right thing to do, staying back at the outset and then going for the big forehand, but missing it. 1 set all in this match. Semi-final Canadian Open. We are dead even. 1 set all here between Sampras and Chang. Let's go down to courtside and Kim Prince, who has been pretty good, by the way, Kim, your predictions here this week so far.
I've also, Cliff, been pretty good with the thermometer. It's gone up about 15 degrees here. I've donned my jacket now. Hope you all don't mind at home. Let me tell you, Pete Sampras' eyes were rolling back up in his head at the end of that last set. He is one tuckered cowboy. I promise you, he's had enough of this heat. And right now, if I'm going to make a prediction, Cliff, I'm going to say that this is Michael Chang's match. I think that Pete Sampras, that tiebreaker was the whole match for him.
Well, we will find out. This is 1 set all, and Sampras will start out the 3rd set.
I've especially been watching, Cliff, his movement after his serve, and he just is not getting in the same way he was in the first set and a half. And I think he's just going to go for winners. I think now his only hope is to blast. He can't afford to rally with Michael. Michael's proved that time and again. Anybody that rallies with Michael in the final set's dead meat. Ask Ivan Lendl, ask Andre Agassi. He's got to end the points quickly now.
Well, of course, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you because you have been so on the money here this week. Nevertheless, Kim, how the heck is Chang in the break serve? He hasn't broken him yet in this match. 6-3 first set, and he won the tiebreaker, but he still hasn't broken him.
Well, and the thing is, of all the players, he has the game to go for short points.
He sure does. So Pete Sampras opens up the 3rd set, leading it by 1 game to nothing. 1 set all. We'll be back. Welcome back to our coverage of the Canadian Open Championships from the campus of York University on the outskirts of Toronto. This is Michael Chang trailing 1-11 in the third set, 1 set all, serving to Sampras. Chang for 1 in decisive sets this year, including his big win yesterday over Andre Agassi.
He's just so solid mentally that when he gets into the tight matches, he's going to be there. But one of the things that's going to happen in this set, and it's because Sampras may be tired, the points are going to get shorter, and it's going to be less the style of play that Michael Chang likes. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, what a shot from Sampras from way behind the baseline. Didn't phase him a bit. Chang was thinking about coming in, and he just slid it down the line for a clean winner. 15 all. That looked to me like it might have clipped the line, but let me caution you, we're a long way from it, so I'm not going to overrule it.
It was almost like the umpire, though, called that while the ball was still in the air, because he puts a little bit of hook on that serve, and as it was coming down, it bent, and it was like, I think I don't know, but I hate to second guess, but it sure looked like it was good to me.
15-30.
I kind of, like, Sampras is on himself a little bit there, but to me it's okay if he misses those. And he's got to be going for him, though, because he'll hit them sooner or later, and what he wants to do is just string 3 or 4 of them together.
I'm not sure whether that body language is saying, as Kim Prince says, I'm really tired. I've had enough of this in the heat, or otherwise I'm just not happy with the way I'm hitting it. Well, he has break point here, first game on Chang's serve of the third set.
Yeah, see, even though he's missed a few balls, Chang is serving double faults because he thinks he's got to do more. He's afraid of what Sampras might do. So I kind of like the way things are going. It's interesting at the moment. One mistake Sampras doesn't want to make, though, is when you get game point, go into a long rally and let himself get run around.
Well, another chance here for Sampras, who's had so many more chances than Chang all day to break.
It's like yesterday he had the 17 break points and only broke twice.
Against McEnroe. 2 was all he needed. He won the match in 3 sets.
Now's an opportunity to step in, crank a forehand. That's what he's showing right now. Safe.
Well, Michael Chang is the first man to make the arrow, and Pete Sampras has the early break in the third set. First set to Sampras, 6-3, played outstanding tennis, relatively easy first set for him, break points all along the way. And in the second set, no serve breaks at all in the match. Chang won the tiebreaker, close tiebreaker. And now Sampras has the early break in the second set, 2 games to love. Remember, Sampras has not been broken in the match yet. So if he can keep holding on, that will be all she wrote.
Well, Cliff, are you going to let me go back in my prediction? I'm absolutely astounded. I really am. I thought Michael would come out and win that third set going away. I'm impressed with Pete. I think he is tired. I think he's very tired. And I think Michael must be tired too, because I think he gave him those last 2 games. But I have to agree with you, the serve now. The advantage is certainly back on Sampras' side with that serve and up a break.
Kim, I don't want to talk you into changing your mind that quickly, because Chang is by no means out of this thing. But that is the big question: can he break?
This is certainly the game that Chang wants to break back in, because Sampras has expended a lot of energy to try to get the break in the first game on this side, and now he's got him love 30. He surprised him on the return on the first point.
Look where the sun is too, Roscoe. It's right in his eyes. He throws that ball up there, he's going to be throwing it in a place that he's not real comfortable with, because the sun is right up there.
And I think that Chang has got a great shot to break right here.
Extraordinary shot.
That ball went right over the net pole. Very nearly caught the net court judge. Watch this ball coming down the line. Great shot. Across the net, actually out over the alley.
Chang, 3 break points to break for the first time in the match now.
The big thing about it, though, is to break to get back to even. That's a big point in Peter Sampras' favor. See him moving and reacting to the shots. He's still making his charge. Has that little touch. You can see there's no swing to that volley. He just lets the ball bounce off of the racket. Great feel.
Oh, what solid serve and volley play from Pete Sampras, and he has won 2 in a row. Still break point for Chang. Waiting as you watch this replay, waiting in the wings to play the next match will be Jacob Klasek. And Jay Berger, and the winner of this match, of course, will play the winner of that one in the final tomorrow. 2 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. Break point. Oh, a little bit of luck for Sampras on that volley. It's a great passing shot, and I think he meant to hit it a little more forcefully, but it worked for him anyway.
See, he is just barely getting to all these shots, and I think he is a little bit tired, because you can see after he hits the ball, he's not really moving as quickly as he was. But this game is huge. If Sampras can get this game, he has the luxury of not having to expend so much energy to try to break again. So he can concentrate on his own serve. So this is huge.
That's an ace. And by the way, the sun will be behind him for the next 2 games.
Yes, and that serve meant so much to him because it's an easy point. Now he's got an ad, and he didn't expend much energy on that. So, yep, he's got to be smiling about that.
Game point.
The sun is definitely right in his eyes, too. See as he tosses it up.
Pete Sampras, who has played both a brilliant and an intelligent match so far, leads it by 3 games to love in set number 3. We'll be back. From the campus of York University, this is the Canadian Open on ESPN from Toronto. Michael Chang testing the sun with a ball toss that is definitely a factor now at this time of the day here in this Toronto sun, summer sun. 3 games to love for Sampras in the 3rd set.
This game becomes imperative for Michael Chang to win.
Sampras doing the right thing, so he keeps pressuring him, Roscoe, and that's what he should be doing at this point, try to consolidate. He gets a second break, and that should be all he needs.
And by pressuring like that, too, the points are short. He's not having to cover a lot of ground. And what happens when you pressure Michael Chang, all of a sudden Michael Chang feels like, oh, well, I better pressure you and get in before you do. So he comes into net when he really doesn't want to. He didn't get far enough in. And when he stopped too far close to the service line, too far back, gave an angle. Second serve is going to attack. This is exactly the shot that Michael Chang was working on in practice. The serve is a little bit short. It's a good deep approach shot, but Michael Chang likes that sort of stuff, and he has that short backswing on the backhand and just punches right through it.
All. Sampras took home $137,000 earlier this year by winning Philadelphia. He could take home $155 if he wins today and tomorrow. They're playing for $81,620 today. That is long. Game point, Chang.
I will tell you, Cliff, bricklayers working in the Sahara have more fun than these guys are having right now. This is not fun. This is hard work. It is brutally hot out here. Both of these guys are fatigued. They both had long 3-set matches yesterday. Yeah, tennis is a game, but this is work now.
Of course, there is so much at stake. Becca Plasek and Jay Berger will play the winner. That's long. Game Chang, 3-1.
Interesting shot just then from Sampras. Chang just really gets in position. All the exaggerated topspin he gets on that ball, but he really gets down well for the volley. He just doesn't like to do it that much. So he can volley, and he has a pretty good one. He just prefers to stay at the baseline. Also on his volley, he doesn't have that much penetration, so he doesn't miss it, but he doesn't necessarily hurt you that much with it. Whereas Peter Sampras, when he gets into net, or Stefan Edberg, when they're in there, they can punch it very firm.
Yeah. It is a matter, isn't it, of who is going to have the mental fortitude to stay out there and the physical stamina as well at this point with that double fault from Pete Sampras. 15.
Yeah, when you're leading, the first 2 points are critical. When you're on your serve and when you're up a break. And last game, Sampras was down love 40. This time it's love 15. Second serve. Very close call.
He is spent. They both are, as Kim's been saying.
So you can see this ball coming back. Looks very similar to the other ones that were called good.
Love 30.
Chang took a swing. Like he thought he had a shot at getting him back. Here it comes. Running full speed ahead.
Michael's losing his touch. It's a tap in for him usually.
A gimme. 15-30. Oh, I mean, he's just, in a way, he just has to keep doing that, Pete Sampras, at this point. He's going to win.
Yeah.
16 aces.
Yeah, the thing is now, though, he keeps making it tough on himself by the first 2 points of the game getting in a hole.
Which he wasn't doing earlier, was he?
No, he was cruising easily, so.
Behind him, and Sampras lost the last game on Chang serve, although he had chances, and now he has break point against him.
And Sampras barely gets out of his shoes off the ground over there to turn and run to that ball. So he's definitely tired. So he's going to be riding his serve the rest of the way out here.
Chang got it back, and Sampras hit it, was going out. Sampras hit a ball that was going out, and the break of serve for the first time in the match belongs to Michael Chang. When Sampras sees that on the replay, he is not going to believe how he gave this game to Michael Chang. Watch it.
Yeah, it's a great serve. He comes in, drills this ball, and Michael Chang gets to it, and I guess Sampras thinks that everything Michael Chang touches now is going to go get back and get in. But that ball was almost outside the alley.
Did you see where he ended up with his feet? Was on the outside of the sideline there. And of course, Michael Chang, truthfully, I'm now going to agree with Kim Prince. I think that Chang will probably end up winning this match, because I think Sampras is out of it. And, you know, maybe Chang is as well. But Michael Chang has been in that position before, and somehow he's able to hold on and make things work for him in the end. Federation Cup coming up next here on ESPN. Women's tennis from the Peachtree World of Tennis in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's go down to Kim Prince now, who has some thoughts on what's been going on here of late. Kim?
Well, Cliff, a thought comes to mind here, and it's an old adage that everyone has something and no one has everything. And it's part of the glory of this match, at least, that you got a kid like Pete Sampras who's got a big bludgeon serve. And then you've got Michael Chang, and he is the master of the retort, the master of the man that can punch the ball back. And it's really one of the glories of sport, no matter what sport you have. When you get this, the big guy against the little guy, you've got push versus shove. You always have a marvelous match, and that's what we've got going today.
You know, sometimes tennis promoters will say you have to wait for a decade for a really great match. Well, we've had a couple here in a couple of days. Agassi Chang of yesterday was a great match, and this one has turned out to be very much the same. 15-love. 2-3. Chang trails in the third set, but we're on serve.
Sampras is definitely into saving energy at this point. There's a couple of balls there that he just figured, what's the point? So I think what he may do now is consolidate his energies for one big push at breaking serve towards the end of this set and hold his own. This is fitting into his game plan. That's all right. Make an error, either hit a winner or a miss, but don't run. And then he's going to try to nail big serves. And at some point, either the next time around when Chang is serving against the sun, try to go for a break. The other thing that comes up in my mind, though, is Chang is running low on electrolytes because he cramped yesterday. This has not been a short match, and it's not exactly chilly down there.
3 games all in the third set. Michael Chang now with a chance to break Sampras for the second time in the match. Last time Sampras served, he broke him. Now Sampras is serving into the sun. And we will see.
This might be the game of the match. Turning point. Now that he's not in the lead, he starts off with an ace.
May or may not be the game. Sorry, Kim.
No, bear in mind, I think, Cliff and Roscoe, that yesterday Agassi had Chang running from here to Buffalo and back all day long. Today he's not had to run as far. And I think, again, the longer this match goes, the longer it can stay even on serve with Chang, the much better his chances are.
Remember that there is no Yvonne Lendl, Becker, or Edberg on the other side. We're waiting for them in the final too. There is $155,000 first prize and all those IBM ATP Tour points. Becker Classic and Jay Berger will battle it out for a place in the final to play the winner of this match.
I think you see two contrasting strategies here. You'll see Chang running after every ball on every point, and you're going to see Sampras increasingly, if it's a meaningless point, he's going to let the ball go.
30-15. Not getting quite the same percentage of first serves now either. Steve Ulrich in the chair confirms the call. Sampras hesitated for a moment. He went for the big one down the line. Clean winner or just out is what he was going for. What he got was not what he wanted.
Very difficult to tell from that angle.
30 all and another first serve missed. So quick that drop shot lob play against him will seldom work.
Well, and Peter Sampras here is playing this point in a tired method. When you're tired, you start to drop shot the other guy thinking maybe he's as tired as you are, but that's just not the way to play Michael Chang. You can see Chang going in, has the racket ready, and now he's ready. As soon as he finishes that shot, he's ready for the next one.
Break point.
He's moving well.
And another first serve missed. said that the drop shot is not the way to do it. He comes up with a perfect drop shot that wins the point clean against one of the quickest guys on the tour, Michael Chang, and Sampras is still alive in this game. It's deuce.
Well, it's an incredible shot to try. And down break point. Look how close that ball is to the net. The margin for error there. He's playing it right on the edge.
Roscoe, I think in 5 years he won't even think about trying that shot. That's part of the glory of being 18.
Oh, there's another shot that he took out of the air there that would have been very close to being out if he hadn't hit it.
But that one he almost had to take, but the other one he had to scramble outside the outside the sideline to get to. He'll learn not to run those extra steps pretty soon.
Isn't it great they can't hear us?
Tough shot there for Pete Sampras. That thing hits the tape. He thinks the point is won, and it comes over. It's below the level of the net, and he knows he's playing against a guy who's going to be able to run it down almost wherever he. Tough decision here for him, Roscoe, wasn't it? What?
It was. He hit a perfect serve, got a miss-hit return that just landed right square on top of the net. Now he cannot hit a very offensive shot, and that's the problem. It's just like going, oh man, give me a break.
Give me a first serve.
He got a first serve.
Deuce.
That's
big first serve. Second serve.
That's a great second serve. He totally shocked Michael Chang. And that's what he's going to have to do because he doesn't have the energy to run all over the court. He's going to have to hit, take chances, go for things. It's easier said than done, but that's what he's got to do.
Game point. And that ace puts Sampras ahead after a fierce struggle in Game 7. 4 games to 3, 1 set all in this match. We'll be back. Michael Chang, who yesterday beat the #1 seed Andre Agassi for the first time. He's trailing in this match in the third set, 3-4, 1 set all. Semi-final of the Canadian Open men's singles.
Sampras felt that serve was wide. He's having a little talk. I think part of it too is you get a little rest that way. And he certainly, ball certainly was close over there on the sideline. Michael Chang does not want to have Sampras winning easy points like that. Helps him conserve energy.
Okay.
There won't be a changeover.
No problem. Pissed everybody else off here. Might as well start and do them.
Welcome back, everyone. This is live coverage now of the Canadian Open semi-final of the men's singles. This is Michael Chang serving at 30-all in the third set. The score is Sampras leading 4-3, 1 set all. When we left you, Michael Chang was leading 5-4 in the second set. There were no breaks of serve in the second set. Michael Chang ended up winning a tight tiebreaker in the second set, 7-6. The score was in the second set, tiebreaker, of course. Now there have been trades of breaks of serve here in the second set. This is Chang serving game point. In the first 3 games of the third set, it was all Pete Sampras who made a great comeback after the tiebreaker. He won them all. Then Michael Chang in turn made a comeback. Nearly won 4 games in a row, but Sampras hung on, and we're now on serve.
Michael Chang made a great attempt at a passing shot here, but look at the backspin on this ball. He almost bounced that ball back into the net. And how do you hit that shot at ad for Chang? Look at this. See him come under the ball there. That's how he gets the backspin. But in the 8th game of the third set, semifinals of the Canadian Open.
Deuce.
What a time.
That is wide. And let's go down to Kim Prince with a report, Kim, on your feelings about the fatigue factor in this match as you watch this replay.
You can see Peter Sampras is a little bit fatigued there beyond that, because that's a tired volley. When it sails on you a little bit, he had everything set up just right for himself.
This is game point for Michael Chang. Again, Kim, when you get a chance, your thoughts about the fatigue factor in this match, please. It's wide. Well, Cliff, 4 games all.
Well, Cliff, I think to put it in a nutshell, the answer really has been that I think Pete Sampras got fatigued here in the third set. While we were away, we missed some of the commentary we were making. We were talking about Michael Chang's ability to hang on, Pete Sampras' ability, perhaps after a big win last night, to have a little bit of a letdown. He is tired. There's no question about it. Pete Sampras is more tired now than Michael Chang is. Michael Chang in the third set, in a final set, anywhere, anytime, is a tough customer. And to follow up on that point, I think part of the glory of this match really is that everyone has something and no one has everything. It's an old adage, and isn't it nice that a guy like Pete Sampras, big, huge serve, and then he's up against a fellow like Michael Chang, who is a master of the riposte. That's the strength of Pete Sampras, and then you're going to see Michael Chang, for his part, chasing every ball down here. That's been the trademark of his career.
Sampras, who was not broken in either set 1 or set 2 and got out to a 3-0 lead, has now been broken. We are on serve at 4 games all in the ultimate set. 30 love Sampras. $155,000 at stake. The winner of this championship. Over $80,000 to win this match.
It's amazing throughout the third set. As soon as he got up the break, the service break early in the third set, he was down love 40 and love 30 on his serve. Then he gets broken, and then he wins the games easy. Now he's up 40 love.
Well, he was in trouble on his serve again. Remember, he nearly lost 4 games in a row there. He had another break point against him, but he held on. And we're on serve for all. So Sampras, who is kind of tired, he's not used to playing long matches because of the way that he plays, but he's ahead 5-4. The Canadian Open from the campus of York University, just outside of Toronto. Beats Sampras of the USA, Michael Chang, both 18 years old, are battling it out for a place in the final of the Canadian Open for this year. Michael Chang, in decisive sets this year, has a great record, as you can see, 4-1 in his favor. This is Chang serving to try to stay in the match. He's behind 4-5 in the third set. Stadium seats 80, just short of 8,800 people, and it is jammed. Sold out. They've been treated to a festival of tennis, this group, haven't they, in the last couple of days, with John McEnroe losing to Sampras yesterday, and then Michael Chang for the first time beating Andre Agassi, the top seed in the tournament, in the early afternoon. Both 3-set matches. Now this today. Another enthralling match. 30 love. Up to that one and just says, I've got this one in my sights, and whacks it down the line.
It's like he can't wait for somebody to try to hit that shot to him. As soon as he hits this, you just watch him. Everyone is identical. Goes right over there. He has a little slide. He's one of the few guys I've seen that can slide on hard courts. But he's just got that shot proved.
40 love.
Careful. Doesn't want to make errors that all of a sudden give Sampras a chance to have some swings at meaningful points.
Five games all now.
Cliff, I think to put things into perspective for our audience, we've had to drop away for some of this match. It's been going on now over 2.5 hours. The proposition now for young Pete Sampras and Michael Chang, both of whom are 18, is how do you marshal your forces at this stage of the match? For Michael Chang, well, he had to run back and forth to Buffalo yesterday against Andre Agassi. Today, he's not had to run so far against Pete Sampras. I think now the odds favor Chang. Sampras has seemed to show the effects of the heat. It's been an inordinately hot day for a Canadian summer day.
That's right. Agassi felt it yesterday, that aura that Michael Chang has of being tough in the crunch after what he did at the French Championships last year. That will be with him forever.
There you can see how Michael Chang with his two-handed backhand. There you see the one-handed backhand. You can see it's just, it needs the ball a little bit more out in front.
Oh, that's a fine played point by Sampras, who's throwing the ball up in the direction of the sun now on serve. So this is not the kind of side to be serving from. Truthfully, if I were him at this point, I'd be serving and volleying on first and second serves, going for broke. Because you don't want to get into a rally with Chang. It's too tough. Chang, on the other hand, has the upper hand, in my opinion, every time Sampras misses the first serve.
That's a ball that Peter Sampras would not have run for, and you can see that Michael Chang never stops running for balls. I mean, here's a ball that most guys would say, I don't have a chance. Well, even if I get to it, I'm just going to hit a short lob. He goes for everything, and it's got to have an effect on the other guy. I mean, when Sampras looks at that, he's going to be going, geez, he's still running after everything. When does the guy stop?
Oh, he tried for another drop volley, which is a tough shot at the best of times. Chang anticipated he might do that, and he probably saw that on the side of his eye. Missed the drop volley. It's 30-all.
Let's see, gets a nice drop, or a nice half volley there, but then out in front, just took his eye off the ball a little bit. You could see there, Cliff, you're right. He did peek and see Michael Chang running up toward the net.
Needless to say, crucial stage of the match. 30-all.
Maybe that's the way he got him.
Chang was trying to get out of the way there because he thought it might have hit him in the air, in which case it would have been point to Sampras. But it didn't. Down the line for a clean winner, and Michael Chang has got break point.
This is a very good volley down the line here, and he's even in the place to cover down the line, but Michael Chang is just too accurate.
He could have, but you know, I'm sure he thought he was going cross-court because he just made no move.
Well, it's when you're tired, sometimes you're up there, but it's a bluff.
Break point.
He wanted an unreturned serve at that point. Put a lot of effort into that first one.
That will sail on. And Michael Chang, after all of this, in the semi-final of the men's singles at the Canadian Open, will serve for the match when we come back. Canadian Open, Toronto, 8,800 spectators. This place is jammed. This is the National Tennis Center. They have seen 2 wonderful days of tennis here. It is not over yet. Michael Chang has to serve for the match against Pete Sampras, who has, until just about 15 minutes ago, been in control of the match almost all the way. Much Sampras has left. Chang's fine. I think he's still trying to get the points over as quickly as he can. He's exhausted. He's not used to playing long matches. When you have the big serve and volley game, especially the big serves that he has, you just don't get into encounters of this kind that often. Chang, on the other hand, is used to working for every point that he has.
Yeah, every day.
You almost get the sense that Michael Chang relishes the third set heat, but I think if you look at Pete Sampras, on the other hand, here's a guy who's having about as much fun as a bricklayer in the Sahara. It has been a long day for young Pete Sampras.
15-all.
What happens when you get tired also, the ball, you always feel like you're a little bit out of position. You're not quite ready. You're not prepared early. As he's not getting the racket back as early as he was in the first 2 sets and beginning of the third even. Everything's just a little out of whack and you make errors.
30-15 Chang, 6-5, third set. Has about 1 swing, a point left.
Lean into it, swing it, and then sort of stumble towards the net. The thing is, it's 30 love or 30 all. He can technically, if things go right, 2 swings, and he can be right in the tiebreaker. And that's scary. Was 1 inch from getting in break point.
Match point though for Chang. What could have been the final point of the match, won by Pete Sampras.
Well, he had a few shots left for this point. He really just was gunning the ball with every shot, and on that volley, he knew that he wasn't turning around to hit any more balls. And look at him, he's just going with everything. Full stretch, boom. Great volley.
Remember, there is no Ivan Lendl or John McEnroe waiting for the winner of this match in the final. It will either be Jay Berger or Jacob Hlasek. Good. And that forehand passing shot from Chang, good again. He's just hit him from everywhere. I mean, why Sampras would come in on the forehand side is a mystery at this point.
Even when he hit that, after he hit that ball, he's ready to turn around and run for the next ball.
Match point, the second one for Chang. Sampras is moving in. He's 3-4 feet inside the baseline. Watch. Takes a swing, but that is his last swing as Michael Chang again, with all the guts, grit and determination of the great player that he is, has held on. In succession, Andre Agassi, the #1 seed, and then Pete Sampras, the #5 seed in the tournament. Both out. Chang is in the final. In 3 sets, Michael Chang, 7-5 in the 3rd set.